scholar up to a certain distance, and beyond that the breakthrough comes through insight. Every scientist confirms that. A flash of understanding and realization. Al-Ihsan is to see with the internal eye what otherwise cannot be seen. And so Al-Ihsan is internal, intuitive, spiritual insight. And so there is definitely a very great connection between scientific discoveries and Al-Ihsan. The next step on the subject would be, how do we acquire Al-Ihsan? Al-Ihsan is not something which can be acquired through effort in scholarly work. Al-Ihsan is built on Nur, and Nur is not sold in the supermarket. Nur comes only from Allah, and the Quran declares, Yahdillahu li nurihi man yasha. Allah grants His Nur to whomsoever Allah chooses. And so when the scholar pursues knowledge, it is Allah who decides whether or not He will gift that scholar with Nur. And if the scholar is gifted with Nur, blessed with Nur, only then can he reach to the stage of Al-Ihsan. So the scientist who is sincere in his pursuit of knowledge, and he is capable of impressing Allah with his effort, that scientist can be given the Nur with which he has a flash of insight, of understanding, and is able to advance the frontiers of scientific knowledge.
And then in today's modern technology, how can we use that the external knowledge and internal knowledge in balance, that we can reach Al-Ihsan and use that in the advancement of technology for the Islam?
Ihsan is not something that we can reach on the basis of our own effort. We can prepare ourselves for Ihsan by faith in Allah and by effort. If you plant and you are a person who is a servant of Allah, you have faith, and you keep on planting with sincerity, then if Allah chooses, then Allah can bless you with Nur. And if He blesses you with Nur, then Al-Ihsan is possible. Without Nur, there is no Ihsan. Nur is not sold in the supermarket. Yahdillahu li nurihi man yasha. This ayah is in Surah An-Nur, and it is in the ayah of Surah An-Nur, which is known as Ayatun Nur. Allahu Nuru Samawati wal Ard. At the end of this ayah, it is this phrase, Yahdillahu li nurihi man yasha. Wallahu bi kulli shay'in alim. That Allah guides to His Nur, Allah blesses someone with His Nur whom Allah chooses. So what we have to do to qualify for Nur, the preparatory work, is sincere faith and devotion to Allah, and to be making the effort in the scientific field.
What is the indicator if we already blessed by nur from Allah.
There is an indicator in the form of true and good dreams and visions. Continuous true and good dreams and visions is a sure sign that you've been blessed with nur.
If we dream about the Prophet ﷺ, Nabi Muhammad, is that signs of the true dreams and also blessed by nur or not?
No one living today can say with certainty that he's seen the Prophet in a dream. That is only possible for those who saw him when he was alive. And now they can confirm, I saw the Prophet in a dream. We can say, yes, I saw in a dream someone, and that person was identified as a Prophet. Yes, we can say that. And hopefully that the dream is indeed a dream of the Prophet. Man ra'ani faqad ra'al haqq. Whosoever sees me has seen me truly, said the Prophet. But you cannot confirm that you've seen him unless you've seen him alive. Others may differ with my view.
Do we still have waliullah until now?
I didn't hear you.
Do we still have person categorized as a waliullah until now?
That is a question I cannot answer. You have to go someone more learned than me.
Okay. Then regarding nur in our heart, how can we maintain or even develop that nur so it can be stable, not temporarily?
The verse of Surah An-Nur teaches how to increase the nur and preserve the nur. And Imam Al-Ghazali has written a book on this ayah, Ayatul Nur. It is called Mishkatul Anwar, and you can probably download it from the internet, and you can read that book written by the Imam Al-Ghazali on the subject of how you increase the nur and how you preserve the nur. He's the master.
Okay. For today that we live in modern age, it's very difficult to keep up with the efforts to reach nur. Do you have any advice or suggestion for us, for the young generation especially,
Yes, get out
to have
of
that?
the cities, withdraw from the dunya, get out of the fast lane of life, go to the remote countryside and seek residence in the remote countryside. Return to the system of sacred time. Sacred time is built on the moon and on night and day, the lunar month and on night and day. And live with the moon. And if you live with the moon, you live with sacred time. And this is the best way in this age, when Dajjal has taken control of the dunya.
Okay. Now we move little bit to the next topic about the Russia and the end times. What do you think is the end game of this Russia-Ukraine conflict?
The end game in Crimea.
Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Okay, Russia in crime conflict.
Russia in Ukraine.
Russia
Russia-Ukraine.
in Ukraine.
Yeah, Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Russia has already demonstrated that she's on the verge of victory in Ukraine. There are two possibilities. Either the Western world would accept defeat, in which case Russia and Ukraine will sit down to negotiate a treaty to end the war, and Ukraine will have to accept the loss of Crimea and Donbass and so on. Or the Western world will not accept defeat and take the conflict in Ukraine to nuclear war, one of the other.
This nuclear war that has been said by both parties, either Russia and the West also, it seems getting closer and closer because they are potentially, have those weapons that can be used at any time. Do you think Russia will start first or the West will start first?
I am certain Russia will not start nuclear war because Russia does not want nuclear war. So it is almost inevitable that it is an attack on Russia which will trigger the war. But there is also the possibility of a false flag attack on the West, which is blamed on Russia. The Zionists could do that. Or a false flag attack on Russia, which is blamed on the West. And this is the most likely scenario, that the Zionists will do it. That the West does not want to trigger off the nuclear war, and Russia does not want, but the Zionists want it. So they manufacture a false flag event which will trigger off the nuclear war, and that is not difficult for them.
When you call about Zionists, the West, and the Western modern civilizations itself, do you have any specific organization? Because Zionism itself, it's spread into so many kind of variation, yeah. The Zionists itself, do they have any structure? Do they have any headquarters? Do they have any specific people or prominent people that engineer this?
It is the secret society, the CIA, the Mossad. They do it.
But I believe that not only in the West, in Russia itself, and also in the Muslim countries, they have those kind of secret societies.
All over the world, you have these intelligence agencies all over the world.
Yeah.